commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So our initial drive here this afternoon results in 3. I'm not sure that was a statement necessarily, but getting points on the road, never a bad thing.
No question about it, Brandon. You had a crowd that was all fired up during pregame introductions, yet you're able to quiet them just a little bit by taking the early lead.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad. They'll come out in the pistol. Throwing here, Lynch on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have a really...
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sean Smith, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Justin Hunter, the one he was searching for, and it'll bring up third down. Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, 22. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. And don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Leonard Williams in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's brought down after a good gain. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that third down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
Third time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on third, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
His pass caught at the 4. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be second and goal.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. It's hard to do because you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
So stuff for no gain on second down brings up a pretty interesting third from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it. I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
And he can't get away from the pressure. Cook goes down. Sharif Floyd with a big-time sack on third down, and it'll be a loss of 7. And his kick here is good, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
This is taken near the 13. And he'll weave his way up, all the way up, a few yards shy of midfield. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll make it a second down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And now it's third down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
On third down, Lynch. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the former Super Bowl MVP, Malcolm Smith. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Throwing, Cook. Crabtree with it over the middle. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Now Cook. A minute 59 to go in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will make our score 9-0. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post. Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down. Second down now after the incompletion.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will give them a 12-point lead. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I'm hearing my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the...
And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about.
Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They come out here in the eye. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there, and it's 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
1 receiver left, 2 to the right. And to give this time to the tailback. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And in hindsight, hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They go back to the air here after the INT. Looking deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. And on 2nd and 10 now.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered. He was able to get a hand in and knock it away.
Here's Lynch. He's going to try and go deep again. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. And never mind, Larry. These two teams apparently anxious to get back at it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Does the big boy have the juice? And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
So they're going to go for 2. Lynch going to try and throw for it. That's complete right around the 8. And mercifully, he'll go down. As that play was an utter mess. That might be kind. And the try for 2 unsuccessful. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. On play action, they'll throw. He's got time. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here we go now. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And that takes us from second to third down.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Washington on third and short. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. They go play action here on first down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Latavius Murray, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space.